In the noise of daily life, it's easy to feel pulled under by stress and uncertainty. But even in the midst of that storm, there is a way to find stillness, a path to inner steadiness that has endured for centuries. Imagine this. No matter what comes your way, work demands, personal conflicts, unexpected challenges, you remain centered, unshaken, quietly steady. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us not to control the world, but to master our own responses to it. Today, we're exploring 10 timeless principles of Stoicism, simple, practical tools you can carry into your everyday life. These aren't abstract ideas. They are ways to build real resilience and quiet strength. Whether you're navigating a strained relationship, feeling weighed down by responsibilities, or simply searching for deeper meaning, the wisdom of the Stoics offers both clarity and guidance. As we walk through these teachings, you'll see how each one becomes a stepping stone, a way to cultivate a calm that doesn't depend on circumstances, and a confidence that doesn't waver with every shift in the wind. Let's begin with purpose. Picture yourself sailing across a vast ocean without a destination. You drift wherever the currents push you, at the mercy of every wave and gust of wind. Life without a clear purpose feels much the same, directionless, vulnerable to everything outside of you. Epictetus once said that difficulties reveal a person's character, and the greater the challenge, the greater the honor in overcoming it. But behind that wisdom is a quiet truth. You cannot navigate difficulty without knowing what you're moving toward. A firm purpose is not something handed to you. It's forged in reflection, in asking what truly matters to you beyond titles and achievements. What values are worth shaping your life around? What kind of person do you want to become? When you uncover that purpose, it becomes your anchor. The chaos of life won't disappear. The waves will still come. But instead of being swept away, you'll have something steady to hold to. A compass that turns challenges into lessons and obstacles into steps forward. Think of it this way. When your values and goals become truly clear, the world feels less overwhelming. What once looked like towering obstacles begins to feel like a series of steps, each one carrying you closer to what matters most. This kind of inner strength doesn't appear by accident. A firm purpose isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you uncover through deliberate, honest reflection. It asks you to look past surface-level wants and fleeting desires, to go deeper into yourself and ask, what truly drives me? What is worth dedicating my life to? That search isn't always comfortable. It may mean reevaluating the direction you've been walking, letting go of old habits, or opening yourself to new perspectives. But every layer you peel back brings you closer to alignment with your truest self. Once you find that purpose and hold it close, the work doesn't stop there. Purpose isn't just discovered. It has to be protected and nurtured. That requires diligence. It's about showing up, especially on the days when progress feels slow. It's about meeting setbacks not as signs to quit, but as part of the path itself. A firm purpose is not a finish line. It's a guiding light. Picture it as a beacon in the night. It steadies you when the world feels chaotic, and it anchors you when emotions run high or circumstances shift unexpectedly. This is where Stoicism reveals its quiet power. It's not about rigid rules. It's about understanding the strength of a steady will. Epictetus reminded us that true power lies not in what happens around us, but in our ability to remain faithful to our purpose despite it all. So take the time to reflect deeply. Write down what matters. Sit with it until it sinks into your heart. Let that purpose become the anchor you return to, again and again, no matter how rough the waters become. Your purpose can become that steady beacon, the unwavering guide that carries you through life's storms. When someone offends you, it's natural to feel the sting of hurt or the spark of anger. The impulse to retaliate is human, But this is where Stoicism offers one of its most powerful lessons. Our emotions are born from our thoughts and interpretations, which means, even in the heat of the moment, we hold the power to choose our response. Instead of seeing offense as an attack to fight against, Stoicism invites us to view it as an opportunity. One more chance to strengthen patience and deepen self-awareness. Every time you resist the urge to react on impulse, you're not suppressing your emotions. You're training your mind. You're building a quiet strength that allows you to remain steady no matter the storm around you. Mind control isn't just a skill to master. It's a daily practice, almost like an art. Start small. Set simple, achievable goals each day. Each one you meet, no matter how minor, reinforces your confidence and reminds you of your ability to guide your own mind. Stay present. Learn to notice your emotions without letting them carry you away. When you realize that you can choose your reaction, something shifts. You begin to move through challenges with a calm that isn't so easily disturbed. Think of a baker who devotes themselves entirely to perfecting their craft. They aren't swayed by praise or criticism. Their focus stays on the work, on improving, on the process itself. That kind of dedication is what brings freedom and peace, not the noise around them. Guarding your mind works the same way. Protect your mental space with the same care you'd protect your home. Don't allow toxic thoughts, harmful influences, or constant negativity to take root. Surround yourself with what uplifts you. Books that expand your perspective, conversations that challenge and strengthen you, people who support your growth. This is the heart of Stoicism, not the denial of emotion, but the deep understanding of it. It's the discipline of responding with clarity and integrity rather than being pulled by impulse or circumstance. One simple, powerful way to begin is with mindfulness or meditation. These practices help you become aware of your thoughts as they arise, giving you space to choose rather than react. And in that space, real freedom is found. Between every stimulus and response, there is a small gap. And within that gap lies your power and your freedom. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you learn to pause, to notice, and to create that space before reacting. That pause is what gives you control over your inner landscape, turning raw emotion into a moment of choice. Guarding your mind also means shaping how you view challenges. When you adopt a growth mindset, difficulties stop feeling like threats and start becoming opportunities. Each obstacle becomes a quiet teacher, shaping you into someone stronger and wiser. This single shift in perspective can change the way you meet adversity, making you less vulnerable to negativity and more anchored in resilience. But this isn't a one-time effort. It's a lifelong practice. Guarding your mind means continually choosing to focus on what you can truly control: your thoughts, your responses, your attitude. It's the decision to step away from a victim mentality and embrace the role of an active participant in your own life. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you'll find external events losing their power to disturb your peace. Epictetus reminded us of a simple truth. We cannot control the opinions or actions of others, only how we respond to them. In our world today, this means recognizing that people will hold different perspectives and sometimes speak harshly. What matters most is not their words, but how we choose to receive them. The first step in meeting criticism well is knowing yourself. When you understand your own motivations and are clear about the principles guiding your actions, negative words lose much of their sting. Self-awareness creates a kind of shield. When you're acting in alignment with your values, outside opinions can't easily shake you. When criticism comes, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is there any truth here that could help me grow? You don't have to accept every harsh word as valid, but approaching it with openness instead of defensiveness builds both strength and maturity. And through it all, Stoicism reminds us to carry patience and gentleness. Patience keeps us steady, allowing us to respond rather than react. Gentleness preserves relationships, reminding us that how we treat others in moments of tension speaks as much to our character as how we handle praise. Even when people disagree with us or criticize us harshly, Stoicism reminds us to hold our center. Think of the lives of saints and ascetics who endured insult and harm, yet responded with patience and quiet kindness. They stayed faithful to their path, no matter how others treated them. We can do the same, not by suppressing our emotions, but by refusing to let criticism disturb our inner peace. Handling criticism well doesn't mean becoming numb or ignoring what others say. It's about developing resilience, a steady strength that allows you to hear feedback without letting it define you. Not all criticism reflects who you are. Sometimes it says more about the critic than about you. People often speak from their own fears, frustrations, or misunderstandings. When you recognize that, you can step back and depersonalize it. Your worth doesn't hinge on their words. This is where the Stoic principle of choice becomes powerful. You cannot stop someone from offering judgment, but you can decide what you take from it. You can choose to extract what is useful and let the rest fall away. That selective approach allows you to grow without being burdened by unnecessary weight. If the criticism comes from someone close, a friend, a partner, a family member, consider engaging with it openly. Ask for clarity. Share your perspective calmly. That kind of dialogue not only diffuses tension, but also strengthens trust and mutual respect. And when you meet criticism with composure, grace, and a willingness to learn, you quietly teach those around you. You become a living example of resilience and emotional intelligence, embodying Stoic principles not as abstract ideas, but as daily practice. Epictetus reminded us that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but the way we interpret them. When someone offends you, it's not the words or actions alone that cause the pain, but how your mind receives and reacts to them. That realization is freeing. It shifts the power from the outside world back into your hands. Transforming offense isn't about denying your emotions. It's natural to feel hurt or angry when wronged. Stoicism doesn't ask you to erase that. It asks you to create a space between the moment you feel and the moment you act. In that small, quiet gap lies your strength. That is where true freedom begins. When offense arises, Stoicism reminds us that our true power lies in choosing a response that aligns with our values and long-term purpose. One practical way to do this is through cognitive reframing. When you feel hurt or attacked, pause and look at the situation from a different angle. Instead of fixating on the sting of the moment, ask yourself, what can I learn here? This doesn't mean you have to agree with the person who offended you. It simply allows you to extract any potential insight and use the experience to grow. For example, if a friend criticizes your lifestyle choices, rather than reacting defensively, you can reflect. Is there any truth in what they're saying? Or is this a moment to reaffirm my commitment to my own values? Stoicism also places deep importance on empathy. When someone lashes out or offends you, take a moment to imagine what might be happening in their world. What pain, pressure, or struggle might they be carrying? This isn't about excusing harmful behavior. It's about seeing the shared humanity beneath it. Responding with understanding instead of anger not only protects your peace, but strengthens your character. Forgiveness is another powerful tool. Holding on to resentment harms you far more than it harms the offender. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what was done. It means releasing its grip on your heart. It's a gift you give yourself. A quiet liberation that allows you to move forward without the weight of bitterness. Every offense you encounter is also a test of resilience. Like a muscle that grows through resistance, your character is strengthened each time you choose patience and clarity over reaction. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you'll notice external events losing their power to disturb your inner stillness. Remember, transforming a fence isn't something you perfect in a day. It's a lifelong practice of patience, self-awareness, and growth. Each time you pause, reframe, or forgive, you reinforce a habit that slowly rewires the way you meet the world. Epictetus captured this truth well. It is not the events themselves that create fear or shame, but the meaning we assign to them. Our interpretations shape our emotions, and when we learn to see differently, we begin to live differently. Fear often begins as a natural response, a way our mind tries to protect us from harm. But when left unchecked, it can grow into something that quietly controls our choices and limits our life. Stoicism teaches a different approach. Instead of avoiding fear, turn toward it. Examine it closely. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Breaking fear into its parts often strips it of its power. Take public speaking as an example. On the surface, it may feel like an overwhelming dread. But when you look deeper, you might see it comes from the worry of being judged or making mistakes. Then you can challenge it. Audiences aren't there to tear you down. They've come to listen, to learn. And even if you stumble, it's rarely the catastrophe you imagine. Every speaker makes mistakes. Each time you face the fear and prepare with care, you chip away at its hold. Slowly, confidence begins to take its place. Shame runs deeper. It can make us feel unworthy, broken, or flawed. Often, it grows from old mistakes or from the weight of societal expectations. Stoicism meets shame with both courage and compassion. It doesn't ask you to ignore it, but to face it directly and learn from it. When you feel shame over something you've done, pause and reflect. Why did this happen? What can I learn from it? How can I use this experience to grow into a better version of myself? This honest examination transforms shame into a teacher instead of a chain. A vital part of this process is self-forgiveness. Holding on to shame keeps you locked in a cycle of self-criticism. Forgiving yourself isn't about erasing what happened. It's about acknowledging your mistakes, learning what they have to teach, and then releasing the weight so you can move forward. That release is not weakness, it's strength. It's the first step in healing and true growth. Practicing the courage to face fear and the compassion to release shame builds a quiet resilience. Over time, you come to see that neither fear nor shame has to define you. They can become what the Stoics always believed challenges could be: stepping stones to inner freedom. Begin with small steps. Gently expose yourself to situations that stir fear or shame, and let each experience become a lesson. Over time, this gradual exposure softens their grip. What once felt overwhelming begins to lose its power. Reflection turns each encounter into growth, and little by little, resilience takes root. Stoicism also reminds us that we don't have to carry these struggles alone. Sharing your fears and moments of shame with someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, or a supportive community, can be deeply liberating. Speaking your emotions aloud often takes away their weight. And in those conversations, you may find that others have walked similar paths and can offer both perspective and encouragement. Epictetus suggested preparing our minds by imagining potential challenges before they arrive. This isn't pessimism. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about being ready for whatever may come. When you've already considered the possibility of difficulty, you're less likely to be shaken when it appears. The Stoics had a practice for this: premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It means taking time to visualize obstacles and calmly planning how you might respond. Before a big meeting, for example, you might picture the things that could go wrong: technical issues, unexpected questions, the flutter of nerves. By rehearsing these moments in your mind, you build steadiness. You remove the sting of surprise and gain the ability to act with intention rather than panic. This isn't dwelling on negativity. It's building mental resilience. A mind that has already walked through difficulty in thought is less likely to crumble when it meets it in reality. You become more adaptable, more composed, the very qualities Stoicism holds as marks of true strength. Anticipating obstacles also means embracing flexibility. Life rarely follows a perfect plan. Rigid expectations make us fragile, but a willingness to adjust makes us strong. When you accept that things may shift, you stop breaking under change and start bending with it. Equally important is balance. While you consider potential difficulties, remember to acknowledge your own strengths, the skills, resources, and support you already have to meet those challenges. Preparedness isn't about fear. It's about quiet confidence built on both awareness and self-trust. When you expect challenges as part of the path, patience naturally deepens. You stop demanding instant results and start valuing persistence. This endurance, this steady commitment in the face of setbacks, is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It's the strength that allows you to meet life, not as you wish it to be, but as it truly is, and keep walking forward with calm determination. Looking back can be as powerful as looking ahead. When you take time to review past experiences, patterns begin to emerge. What challenges have you faced before? How did you overcome them? Which strategies helped you and which ones fell short? Reflection like this turns your own history into a teacher, sharpening your ability to prepare for what lies ahead. Mindfulness can deepen this skill. By staying present and aware, you notice potential challenges sooner and respond with greater thoughtfulness. Mindfulness also steadies the emotional waters, helping you remain calm and centered even in moments of stress. Epictetus captured this truth simply. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In those few words lies the heart of inner strength. We can't always change what the world brings to our door, but we can master the way we meet it. That choice, our response, is what shapes our character and defines the direction of our life. Building that inner strength begins with self-awareness. Learn to notice your emotions without being swept away by them. This isn't about suppressing what you feel, but about observing, understanding, and tracing emotions back to their roots. When you know your triggers, you gain the ability to choose your reactions rather than be ruled by them. A key Stoic lesson is distinguishing between what is in your control and what is not. Other people's actions, words, or opinions are beyond your reach, but your own attitude and choices are always yours. By focusing on what you can truly control, you preserve your energy and protect your peace. That simple shift in perspective is deeply empowering. It anchors you when everything outside feels uncertain. Forgiveness is another quiet strength the Stoics valued. Holding on to resentment drains you. It weighs the heart and clouds judgment. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing what was done. It means releasing its grip on you. It's a choice to free yourself from the weight of negative emotions so that healing and growth can take their place. Resilience, too, is at the core of inner strength. Life will bring both highs and lows. Setbacks are not the exception, but part of the path. Each one is a chance to practice endurance, to strengthen the muscles of perseverance. Over time, this steady practice makes you more adaptable and less shaken by life's fluctuations. And while Stoicism emphasizes self-mastery, it also recognizes the power of community and connection. Surround yourself with people who uplift and challenge you. Seek conversations that stretch your thinking and relationships that encourage growth. Strength is not always forged in isolation. It's often nurtured by those who walk beside us. Strength doesn't grow in isolation. Draw on the supports around you, trusted friends, mentors, communities, or spiritual practices that guide and anchor you. These external sources can reinforce your inner steadiness and remind you that you are not alone. They offer perspective, belonging, and a deeper sense of purpose. Practicing gratitude is another quiet yet powerful way to build inner strength. Gratitude shifts the lens through which you see the world, moving your focus from what's missing to what's already present. Even in hard times, there are moments of light to notice. By regularly acknowledging and appreciating them, you cultivate resilience and keep your perspective balanced. True strength also makes space for vulnerability. Admitting your fears and insecurities doesn't weaken you. It makes you honest. It opens the door to self-compassion. When you meet your vulnerabilities with courage instead of avoidance, they transform into unexpected sources of strength. This kind of self-acceptance allows you to walk through life with authenticity and quiet confidence. Inner strength isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about seeing them clearly without letting them take the wheel. It's about creating a pause, a small space between what you feel and how you act. In that pause, you choose. And that choice can transform everything. Consider something as ordinary as driving in heavy traffic. Someone cuts you off, and the first surge is anger. In that instant, Stoicism offers a different path. Pause. Ask yourself, will my reaction make this better or worse? Often, the answer is clear. By choosing calm over impulse, you protect your peace and keep control over yourself. This same principle applies to a deeper practice, delaying gratification. In a world built on speed and instant rewards, patience becomes a form of strength. By resisting the pull of the immediate and working steadily toward long-term goals, you cultivate discipline and endurance, the kind of resilience that lasts. Stoicism also reminds us to carry this restraint into our words. In moments of conflict, emotions often rise first. It's easy to speak from that heat and regret it later. The Stoic practice is to pause before responding. Are my words constructive? Do they reflect my values? Speaking with intention doesn't just avoid harm, it builds stronger, more respectful relationships over time. Practicing self-restraint is not about denying yourself, it's about guiding yourself. It asks for awareness and discipline. It might mean setting boundaries to protect your energy, using mindfulness to stay present, or building habits that support the life you want to live. For example, if procrastination is your struggle, you can create a structure that keeps you steady. If anger comes quickly, you can practice grounding techniques to keep your calm in stressful moments. At its heart, Stoicism teaches that our actions should be guided not by impulse, but by reason. And each time you pause, reflect, and choose with intention, you strengthen that principle within yourself. Restraint means choosing reason over impulse. It means making decisions after thoughtful reflection on the situation and its consequences. Imagine you're facing an important decision at work. Rather than rushing, you take time to gather information, weigh the pros and cons, and consider how your choice aligns with your values and long-term goals. This careful approach leads to wiser outcomes and a deeper sense of control. But restraint isn't about passivity or avoiding action altogether. It's about being deliberate and intentional, recognizing that every action carries consequences and owning responsibility for them. When we practice self-restraint, we become more effective in reaching our goals while preserving our inner calm. Reflection plays a crucial role here. Set aside time each day to review your behavior. Ask yourself, where could I have exercised more restraint? What triggered my impulses? How might I respond differently next time? This ongoing self-assessment builds awareness and strengthens your commitment to acting with intention. Another practical tool is mindfulness. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply paying close attention to your moment-to-moment experience, mindfulness helps you notice impulsive urges before they lead to reaction. By cultivating this presence, you gain greater self-control and a clearer mind. Acceptance is a cornerstone of effective action. When we resist reality, we waste precious energy and invite unnecessary suffering. Suppose you lose your job. It's natural to feel upset or anxious, but by accepting the situation as it is, you free yourself to focus on what you can do next, updating your resume, networking, or exploring new opportunities. This mindset shifts you from being stuck in frustration to moving forward with purpose. Mindfulness and meditation offer practical ways to nurture acceptance. They help you observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing each moment to be just what it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. This practice builds a foundation of inner peace and resilience. Stoicism teaches that acceptance is not surrender. It's strength in the face of adversity. It's understanding that every event, pleasant or painful, is part of life's flow. And by embracing it, we find the power to respond wisely and with courage. No matter how difficult a situation may be, it carries within it an opportunity for growth and learning. When challenges arise, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience help me become stronger? This subtle shift in perspective transforms obstacles into stepping stones on the path of personal development. Acceptance also invites us to release the grip of perfectionism. Many of us chase perfection in our work, relationships, and personal goals, but this relentless pursuit often breeds stress and dissatisfaction. By embracing the reality that perfection is unattainable, we allow ourselves to appreciate the effort and progress we've made. This doesn't mean lowering standards. It means recognizing that imperfections are part of being human. When we meet our flaws and setbacks with compassion, we open the door to living more fully and authentically. Gratitude is a powerful companion to acceptance. Focusing on what we have rather than what's missing shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Even amid difficulties, gratitude helps us see the good in life. When practiced regularly, it strengthens our capacity to accept and appreciate life just as it is. Acceptance extends beyond ourselves to our relationships. We often hold expectations about how others should behave, and when those expectations go unmet, frustration follows. By accepting people as they truly are, strengths, weaknesses, and all, we create space for more harmonious and meaningful connections. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but rather understanding that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges. Through empathy and compassion, we foster authentic relationships rooted in mutual growth. Epictetus and the Stoics taught that living according to nature means recognizing our place in the world and acting in harmony with our rational and social nature. At its heart, this principle calls us to live authentically and in balance with ourselves, others, and the world around us. Living in harmony with the universe begins with self-awareness. It calls for a deep understanding of who we are, our true nature. This journey invites introspection, a quiet reflection on our values, our strengths, and our purpose. By recognizing our natural tendencies and inclinations, we can make choices that resonate with our authentic selves, rather than simply following societal expectations or outside pressures. This principle also asks us to accept life's natural rhythms. Just as the seasons flow through cycles of growth, stability, decline, and renewal, so too do our lives move through different phases. By embracing these cycles, we find the grace to navigate transitions with greater ease and acceptance. Living according to nature means cultivating virtues that guide us through life's challenges: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom helps us see clearly and make thoughtful decisions. Courage gives us strength to face adversity with resolve. Justice calls us to act fairly and honorably in our relationships. Temperance teaches balance and self-control, helping us stay grounded. By nurturing these virtues, we align our actions with our rational, natural selves. Stoicism also reminds us that we are social beings, deeply connected to those around us. Living in harmony means recognizing our interdependence and contributing to the well-being of our communities. Through empathy, compassion, and cooperation, we build meaningful relationships that support not only others, but also ourselves. Helping others and fostering positive connections fulfill our social nature and create a more harmonious world. Another important aspect of living according to nature is embracing simplicity and focusing on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions and material pursuits, it's easy to lose sight of our deeper priorities. Stoicism invites us to strip away the excess, to return to our core values and essential needs. This might mean simplifying our lifestyle, prioritizing meaningful relationships, and making time for personal growth and self-care. By creating space for what truly brings joy and fulfillment, we reconnect with what matters most. Stoicism also highlights the power of acceptance and gratitude as part of living in harmony with nature. Accepting life's natural flow means letting go of the urge to control every outcome and learning to trust the process. It means appreciating what we have and being present to the moment. Gratitude opens our eyes to the abundance around us, fostering a mindset of contentment and peace. Living according to nature also asks us to be mindful of our impact on the environment. As part of the natural world, we carry a responsibility to care for the planet and preserve its resources. This can take shape through sustainable choices, reducing waste, and respecting the delicate balance of ecosystems. By honoring this connection, we contribute not only to the world around us, but also to the well-being of generations to come. Mindfulness can deepen our ability to live in tune with nature. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing our experience, these practices help us stay present and make intentional choices aligned with our true selves. They encourage us to slow down, reflect, and act with purpose. As we conclude this journey through the timeless principles of Stoicism, remember this: true power does not lie in controlling the world around you, but in mastering your own mind and actions. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and let it guide you toward a life of inner peace, resilience, and fulfillment. Thank you for being part of Stoic Mindset Mastery. If you found this video helpful, feel free to explore one of the suggested videos on the screen. Keep steady, stay grounded, and continue your journey toward wisdom and well-being.